here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium with the biggest football rivalry in Ghana coming up between Asante Kotoko and Hearts of Oak. This is the super clash here in Kumasi. Beautiful weather on 33 degrees Celsius. Pleasant welcome to the garden city of Kumasi, the Ashanti regional capital, known for its rich history and tradition, housing some of Ghana's premier health and educational facilities, and the beautiful historic story of Okomfanoche. Just join us. Pleasant welcome once again. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Josiah Okokwe. We're your commentators for this big one here in Kumasi.
Good afternoon, Nana Dakwa Jesse. What a day we have, what an atmosphere we have here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Electric, breathtaking, and we're hoping that after 90 minutes, the story will definitely be historic.
Asante Kotoko, having exited the FA Cup last weekend at this venue, the aftermath saw the exit of Coach Karim Zito, who was reported to have resigned. Prince Owusu has since taken over as interim coach for the Porcupine Warriors, winless in their last two competitive games, having lost by 3-1 to Hearts of Lions in their last Premier League game and exiting the FA Cup last weekend. Matchday 22 game at the TNA, played on two occasions, on Friday evening and on Saturday morning, because on Friday the game was rained off at 1-1. But Mediama failed to make the most of it yesterday when they squandered a late penalty through Captain Mubarak Yusuf, and in the process failed to extend their lead on the summit of the log.
Yeah, and it gives relevance and significance to this game, you know, a drawing. You know, I told you in that game that the neutrals will be hoping that that game would end in a stalemate, which in fact it did hard luck on the side of Mediama, but for Adriana, they still have their eyes on the prize, and it also gives these two teams, you know, a bit of hope, knowing that a win for either one of them would actually allow them to close in and then try and make something happen.
That's Asante Kotoko's lineup, familiar faces. Mohamed Kamara is in post. Esiedu returns from injury to play at left back. There's Lord Amwa at right back. Ensu and Samba in central defense. There's a three-man midfield of Walid Husseini, Bedu and Jehu. Three-man attack of Saka Dawuda, Albert Amwa, the returnee, and Dogo. His first super clash since joining Kotoko. Big responsibility on the shoulders of Prince Owusu. He's Kotoko's interim coach following the exit of Abdul Karim Zito. He was one of Zito's assistants together with Hamza Obin. This game is certainly in good hands. One of Africa's best referees recently officiated in the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations between Nigeria and Morocco. Daniel Nilaye is our centre man. He's assisted by Paul Otimaka and Seth Ableto, with Gideon Nikofi as our fourth referee for this evening's fixture here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Hearts of Oak have a lineup of a back four that has Adamu, Mohamed Ali, Esibe, and Emmanuel Amankwa completing the back four, shielded by Benjamin Asari. A three-man midfield of Hussein Afrani and Abdul Karim. Hamza Isa is leading the attack alongside Maoli Wayo and then Martin Kakari. Masoud Didi Dramani have already lost to Asante Kotoko this season, but he's also have his fair share of victory. He won in the top four after losing the President's Cup in the first round of the Ghana Premier League. That one game you've been looking forward to on the football calendar domestically.
Nilaye himself, he's really announced his presence on the African continent in the last couple of months.
There we go. Game underway here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Is Kotoko who gets us going with Samba O'Neill launching a long one into Hearts of Oak's territory. First goal kick of the afternoon. Upon front, it threads one to Wayo. Kotoko takes possession. Here is Jehu. Good movement from Jehu. That's what to hang on. Lovely run. It's a fair challenge from Hussein. Hearts of Oak will take possession, but Jehu stays down. Laye looks on without the foul, but I'm sure he's going to halt play for Jehu to be attended to, because that's the ever-present Porcupine tertiary. They always bring in the vibe and the morale to these players. Esibe gives away the ball to Amwa and is driving straight to Asari. Albert Amwa, first attempted goal from the Kotoko striker.
That's why they will have to keep an eye on him. Albert Amwa, so mobile, spontaneous at that point.
Colorful Phobians lighting up the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, and they like to be under the scoreboard, the Phobians.
Maximizing the use of these long throws, and we've seen it. It's pretty rife these days. That was an efficient one.
It's a late and a clumsy challenge by Patrick Esiedu on Hamza Issa, the two number 17s. Martin Kakari to take the Atsabok free kick. Whips one into the box, and Adamu heads it. Kamara, and the Phobians have the opening goal at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Baba Adamu, an unlikely scorer, puts the Phobians ahead here on 13 minutes. Asante Kotoko 0, Hatsabok 1. It is Baba Adamu. He set the Phobian fans into wild celebrations under the scoreboard. And Hamza Issa have got a lot of thinking to do now.
Definitely, but then such a terrible ball to concede there by Kamara. Lost his footing, just no man's land. A lovely delivery from Kakari and a glancing header. He had to improvise with his back facing post. Just look at that. Just flick that one.
Fusaini on Abdul Karim. Abdul Karim recently lost his new baby after the wife had delivered, had to be given some rest and emotional leave by Didi Dramani. It's a red card for Emmanuel Mankwa. Early shower for the Azabok right back. It's the second yellow card. He's already in the books of Daniel Laye for an initial foul. So that's the tackle on Saka Dauda. That is a clear foul.
Clumsy.
It's a stamp on Saka Dauda. Here is Baidu to Musa Hamzata. That sums it up for the first half of the Super Clash, the much anticipated halftime at the Baba Yara Stadium. Asante Kotoko 0, Hatsabok 1. Second half underway here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Kotoko trail Hearts by 1-0. Here is Sambo 0. Amwa beaten to it by Esibe. Lord Amwa on his bike on the right side. Here comes Amwa being charged down by George Parku. It was Afrani.
At the back, it becomes suspicious. And
in a game of high stakes, a chance for Kotoko. Albert Amwa, and it goes just over the top. Morfin Donzo sets up Albert Amwa.
Right at the edge of the box. It was lovely from Donzo with that one tap pass to Amwa. All he had to do was to keep that down, but again, another cut, but just tease up Donzo at that point.
Albert Amwa delivers. He's moved to the right side and allowed Donzo to occupy the middle position of the attack. Esiedu's delivery stopped by Esibe. Chance for Kotoko. Asari. He makes the most of it.
For Kotoko, they are pointing it on now. You know, they're creating overloads at the wide areas now. It was a good hit by Asiedu. They're trying to send that one in with every power. Slightest of touches could have ended an own goal. Italia combining at the far post. Asiedu whips that one in, but cleared out of doing well, holding their own at this point. And you can see the passes are also finding them.
Esiedu with a drive. Asari almost beaten, but you give Azabok's goalkeeper full credit for denying Kotoko's left back. Esiedu on that occasion is a corner taken by Amwa. Esiedu unable to skip past Collison, who shows great strength and composure there. Now he wins a foul. Clever play from Theophilus Collison.
Yeah, and comes out at frustration of Esiedu from a distance. He just whips that one. Speak of the fact that, yeah, they've been limited to shots from outside the box, but that one had some firepower behind it.
Duku has a walk, chance for a second. Good save from Kamara to deny the Phobians a second. Rafael Amponsa with a big chance to double the lead, and
that's obviously the biggest chance we've seen so far in this game. That was a big chance. Duku does well, tees up Amponsa. And it was Kamara who does well, rushed off his line. Now the angle makes himself so big. Just a few minutes away, and the celebrations have already begun.
Here is Albert Amoa. He sees the movement of Donzo. Here is Morifin Donzo for Asante Kotoko. He sends in a cross. Chance for Kotoko. And it's cleared away by Ali.
I've just hit that one on the first time of asking. Just look at that. There was that run again from a deep area. And that was Saka Dauda waiting in the goalkeeper's area for a delivery. Another touch there from Kwame Poku before hitting that one. Benjamin Asari, very fortunate at that point.
We're into the final seconds of stoppage time. Hearts of Oak on the verge. We've done all the additional 4 minutes. All eyes are now on referee Daniel Nilaye as Esiedu sends the long ball in. Asari collects it calmly, and this should be it. He's taking another look at his watch. It is finished. Hearts of Oak have defied the odds. They've broken the home invincibility of Asante Kotoko. They picked up maximum points to the disappointment of the Porcupine faithful. It's all joy and merrymaking among the Phobian faithful. They've beaten Asante Kotoko at their fortress. The first half header to a win. What makes it even sweeter for the Phobians is that they had to endure most part of the game. It's full time. The biggest game on the Ghanaian football calendar on the domestic scene is over. Full time.